Ladies and gentlemen, the guy at the end of the bar proudly presents the Dantanna's Late Shift. Brought to you by attorney Ray Giudice. And now the two men to take you to new heights in sports conversation, Nick Cellini and Matt Chernoff.
Ray Giudice is here right now. Ray, always good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
I guess a lot of people aren't going to be too happy to see Lance Armstrong. He seems to be a man on an island right now.
Well, this was a calculated move by he and his team to determine if they could reshape his public image, and it did not work. A bad and fake and untruthful confession is worse than not making any. I think he's taken two steps back. And what everybody said uniformly is, let's see him take the oath. Let's see him get cross-examined. Right. And he's not going to make any progress in getting licensed to compete until he names names and is what's called helpful to the World Doping Agency.
A hotel room in Austin is not the same as getting in front of a judge with a Bible in one of your hands.
And a lawyer cross-examined.
You're right.
And Oprah is no judge.
That's right.
She's no lawyer, but you are. And that's why we're asking you these questions right now. Manti Te'o, certainly embarrassed. Now I guess Ronnie Tuiasosopo is going to tell his side of the story. His family has hired an attorney. What's going on here?
Well, you know, the one thing I tell about people that want to file lawsuits, when you file a lawsuit, you're going to be deposed. You're going to be asked questions that you're not going to want to answer, not just the things you want to talk about. That's an ugly way to go. These are nice young people. They should all move on with their lives so that one day their children or their grandchildren don't say, hey, Grandma, were you really involved in this stupidity 35 years ago? Wrap it up. That would be my legal advice.
But nobody could figure out the end game. Usually we say follow a bouncing dollar sign, and it doesn't seem, unless there was going to be a blackmail somewhere down the road, that the dollar sign came into play here.
I don't see it unless, again, somebody thought that they could catapult their public image. You've got so many college athletes now that are preening for the camera and for their afterlife from day one.
That's the public perception, that he wanted to help his stock in terms of personality and visibility. That he'll have to pay a price for.
That's correct.
Well, let's talk about what happened after the Falcons game. I guess you had a Niners fan and a Falcons fan involved in an altercation. The Falcons fan ends up getting stabbed. I guess this goes back to alcohol policy. Now, we don't know if alcohol was a factor here or not, but the NFL, they say they want to get stronger and tougher as far as when they serve, when they stop serving. All of this could come into play before all is said and done.
Absolutely. There'll be a top-to-bottom security review from this matter. You've got 80,000 people. The World Congress Center Police, Fulton County Police are on top of this. There were, executives and politicians from all over the country at this game, and here you've got right outside the doorsteps a stabbing, and they can't even get the witnesses to come forward on this matter. And I always say, where is the videotape? Why wasn't there videotape of this incident? So I believe they're going to take a top-to-bottom security review, including their alcohol policy.
And certainly you've got to believe there's going to be more and more around the NFL checkpoints as fans drive out of these parking lots.
Both inside and outside. I think you're going to see more situation where people are frisked for weapons and alcohol coming in, and vehicles and people frisked, maybe even leaving the building.
They need to err on the side of caution now. Now that's what they know.
That's right. You're talking about too many people paying too big dollars, and the sponsors won't have it.
All right, speaking of sponsors, you are a fine sponsor of this program and a fine guest each and every week. Hey, don't forget, if you want to follow us at Dantanna's LS or on the Dantanna's Late Shift presented by Ray Giudice Facebook page. See you next week.